All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. Listen, today we got to talk about Claressa and Papoose because of this situation, yeah, it's getting messy. And hold up, we're also bringing Netflix into the conversation, so stay with me. So it looks like this so-called controversial couple, Claressa Shields and Remy's husband, ended up catching a flight out to Cali. Going back to Cali, though? I don't think it's that simple, you feel me? Now, apparently, little Ruben, Ruben's son, tied to Win Records, had some kind of prom send-off event. And listen, from what I'm seeing, that whole setup looked way more lavish than anything Claressa's been flexing online with that new money talk. So yeah, they pulled up to that. And not only that, but later that same night, they were also spotted at Ronda Rousey's MMA return. Now, I don't know if this is a one-time thing or what, because listen, she wrapped that fight up in like 17 seconds. But here's the part that caught me off guard. I had no idea Claressa and Remy's husband were even in the building. I was watching closely, trust me. They had this whole celebrity role segment. And listen to this, they were highlighting the stars of that new Netflix show, Nemesis. They brought up Michael Irvin too. They even showed Tommy Lee and Carmen Electra. You see what I'm saying? These are real heavy hitters. Alicia Baumgardner was there. Jake Paul was in the building. That's real star power right there. WNBA players showed up too. It was celebrity after celebrity non-stop. They literally had a full segment dedicated to Celebrity Row right before the Rousey fight. And y'all, they named just about everybody sitting there, except Claressa Shields. Yeah, except Claressa Shields. It was like she wasn't even there, like she didn't even matter at that moment, like she was completely invisible. And honestly, it almost felt like she didn't even exist in the boxing conversation at that level. But funny enough, they made sure Alicia Baumgardner got camera time. So now I'm sitting here like, hold up, how was Alicia able to handle her obligations with MVP Promotions and still show up to events like this MMA fight? But Claressa couldn't even make it to promote that Atlanta fight last Saturday. And remember, she had a whole rollout plan. Multiple interviews lined up, podcasts, local radio stops in Atlanta. She said she was gonna be there. So what happened? Oh, I think I get it now. Yeah, I definitely know what's going on.
There's absolutely nothing getting placed before a married man in this situation. So hold up, I don't know if some of y'all caught my stories earlier because I dropped a quick little clip, just a tiny snippet, you know what I'm saying? Just enough to get people talking. And shout out to 50 Cent, okay? Because it was Claressa Shields making sure everybody knew she was inside the building for the Ronda Rousey fight. She was already recording footage before the action even got started. And girl, would you believe she just so happened to be sitting in the same row as the stars from the new Nemesis series on Netflix? But let me tell you something, if Claressa Shields hadn't posted it herself, nobody would have even known she was there. Meanwhile, Netflix basically acted like you and Remy's husband didn't even exist. And I'm not gonna lie, I swear I heard Remy Ma playing somewhere in the background too. I really thought I caught all the way up for a second. I know I wasn't hearing things, and you already know I'm gonna scream laughing if they also had Whichever or Why You Hating in the MVP rotation, because that would have been messy work. Seriously. Were any of y'all out in Los Angeles tonight watching the fights live for Ronda Rousey? Not me mixing up the names for a second, my bad y'all, but still, the whole situation was wild. It's honestly crazy how Claressa Shields hops online acting like she's bigger than the entire machine behind these events, because tonight, the real headline was MVP Promotions letting everybody know they're coming for complete domination. They are seriously trying to take over every lane right now. MMA is about to explode everywhere under MVP Promotions, and the energy inside that arena proved it, because people were getting knocked out so fast it barely looked real. You blinked one time and the fights were already over, because these knockouts were happening back to back at lightning speed. And then the match right before Ronda's, baby, that thing turned into a complete bloody disaster, and even that ended super quick. I mean, literally, the scene looked straight out of a crime investigation show. It felt like we accidentally switched over to Law & Order Special Victims Unit or something. Maybe even Law & Order Criminal Intent, because the whole thing was insane. There was blood everywhere, non-stop bleeding, absolute chaos all over that place. But of course, Claressa Shields wanted the internet to know not only was she present for the event, but so was that married man. Because listen, he never misses when cameras are rolling. What do I always tell y'all when it's lights, camera, action? Shout out to Mr. Cheeks for that one. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, okay? Happy birthday, Janet, while we're at it. what are we really discussing here? Of course Remy's husband was going to pull up because this was a live Netflix event. Of course he's showing up for MVP promotions while skipping certain things connected to Selena's promotions and Win Records after spending all week online saying he'd be there. And honestly, this whole thing happened exactly on schedule because guess what?
And listen to this. Ray's husband had no problem standing right beside you for an MVP promotions event, but somehow couldn't stand beside you down in Atlanta for Win Records with Kadesha, Ruben, Dietrich, and Salida promotions. Instead, y'all had bigger priorities, like running behind a married man and popping up at a concert you clearly never cared about attending in the first place. And hold up, it wasn't even just one event that got skipped either. You passed on 2 separate events, 2 opportunities, possibly paid appearances at that, all for a married man because apparently that became the #1 priority. And what did I keep telling y'all? The camera was absolutely going to come out so everybody could see Ray's husband right there beside her, just like clockwork, every single time. Because girl, Claressa Shields couldn't even sit through the night without making sure the phone stayed active. You know what I'm saying? That camera had to stay rolling non-stop. Meanwhile, I looked around Celebrity Row and didn't notice anybody else acting like that with their phones out the entire time. I didn't see any of the real celebrities focused on recording every second and making sure attention stayed locked on them instead of sitting back like grown adults and actually enjoying the event happening right in front of them. And honestly, it's probably a good thing Claressa Shields isn't officially tied into MVP promotions because there is no way she could survive without filming every little second, every tiny moment, every single part of the day without just letting herself experience what's happening naturally, without simply living in the moment for once. And another thing you can clearly tell, she and Ray's husband barely even communicate with each other. There's almost no conversation happening at all because that phone never leaves their hands. That camera stays up literally the whole time. So what substance is really here at the end of the day? It just looks like 2 messy adults wrapped up in grown folk drama. There's no deep connection being shown, no meaningful guidance or real substance is being exchanged, and now both of y'all have damaged your public image, hurt your reputation, and put your careers in a weird place. Well, Ray's husband barely even has a career outside of attaching himself to wealthy, successful black women. That's been the pattern. That's basically become the resume at this point. But when Netflix scanned that crowd tonight, when they panned across Celebrity Row and saw Claressa Shields and Ray's husband squeezed in beside actual stars, actual legends, actual icons, actual NFL Hall of Famers, you know what they probably thought at that moment? Who are they again? We don't know them, and they're definitely not getting featured during our Celebrity Row spotlight. Girl, that had to be embarrassing. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.